I'm on the Badminton estate. There's a footpath runs through it. And I'm looking at the source of the Avon, but this time I'm looking at an alternative source of the Bristol Avon. And notice how I'm pronouncing Avon two different ways. It's still, I'm not a Gloucestershire person. I'm from Berkshire, and I say Avon wrong. I keep having to remind myself. It's no English place name is pronounced phonetically. But anyway, that's a side issue. But I'm looking for my previous video on the Bristol Avon points out that Didmarton is the source of the Bristol Avon, and there's reasons. A lot of people think there's two sources. There aren't.
The reason for this is because the northern branch that goes to Tetbury was in Anglo-Saxon times called the Ingleborn, and in later times, 100 years ago, was known as the Newton Brook, because it went past Newton. It is only recently been called the Avon, which is probably an invention. Though of course I don't want to get mixed up in local politics, but the branch of the Avon that goes to the west, to Shurston and Didmarton, is probably the real source of the Avon.
There's an alternative third possibility which I'm exploring today just for fun, but it probably isn't. But there's an interesting earthwork which we can go and have a look at. This third source starts in Little Badminton, a village just north of Badminton, where the big house is. Badminton estate is a ginormous estate. It is the landed gentry. I've got the opportunity to walk through the parkland because it's a public footpath. Again, another fine illustration that we're not a fascist country. I shall be doing my traditional waving the V's towards the upper classes as we approach the house. So yes, the badminton trials are here, and oh dear. Squirrel! I love deer, but this sort of place is a parkland, so they're prevented from getting out. They're not domesticated animals. Even domesticating animals I've got sympathy for, but I love deer, but they're trapped here. They don't give me they're just, they're forced to be here. It's sort of an artificial thing, so they don't make me roar with laughter or get really excited. But I wouldn't mind having a closer look. But just stick to the pathway. This land is nearly all oaks. It's parkland, and it's really for deer. And there's a couple of alders, but over here we have, don't know whether you can see it, we've got a willow, so that tells us it's another one of your land signs. It tells you there's water over there. Now it could be a pond, or it could be the Avon stream that I was talking about earlier, alternative. Let's go and have a look. I couldn't get a good look, but the map tells me, the map on my phone tells me there's a pond there, and not just that. There's another stream. It isn't the stream that I'm talking about, the Avon alternative. It's another one that joins it up here, where our earthwork that I wanted to talk about is. So this is Giant's Cave. This is the earthwork I was talking about. It's a Neolithic tomb, and it is heavily wrecked, but it's its context that is interesting. One, it's not on top of a hill, though it is on dry ground, but it's next to this stream, and this stream is my Avon alternative. And there's a lot of Neolithic barrows, not Bronze Age barrows, but Neolithic ones, that are next to streams. They're pretty close to streams. Now, how we interpret that is another matter. I think it's a bit easy to say the dead want to be watered in the afterlife and all that sort of nonsense. I think it's probably that it's to do with land ownership. This is my land, this is my water, and it's my children that rule over you now. And so it's and of course Neolithic tombs like this were collective ones. They weren't the whole. It's like a family mausoleum. And we know it was family from the Hazelton Neolithic tomb, and that they did the DNA work on the bones inside, and they could show. There were arrangements, family arrangements, based upon, first of all, one man who was like the grandfather of the clan, or whatever, however they organised themselves. But clan is a perfectly good word for this. And then different rooms had a woman who gave birth to children. And in Hazelton there were 4 of them, with 4 separate bloodlines derived from them being mating with that first man, the grandfather. And that's massively interesting. It shows they divided up their world, divided up certainly that tomb mentally and in reality into bloodlines. So it's this is the wonder of DNA. We think there's nothing more to learn, and they keep making scientific breakthroughs, even for amateurs like me and possibly you. We have access to LiDAR. I have access to the Sawyer database of anglo-saxon charters, so we have information about the landscape thousands of years ago. and there's still much to be, so the great archaeologists in the early 20th century, they didn't have any of that. Well, they had, they may have had access to the Sawyer database, the Sawyer catalogue, and but it was a rigmarole getting the information out. Me, it's a few clicks of a button. So anyway, here we are. This is Giant's Cave.